Hi, Federica and Cesare. Great to see you.
Hello.
Hi. I'm looking forward to tasting your 2020s together. Uh, I remember tasting them from barrel, and they were very beautiful. So it'll be great to re-taste them. Like, what's your overall impression with 2020 for Barbaresco, but also for Barolo?
The quality is very nice. Unfortunately, the quantity is not very satisfying because we had a little drop in terms of quantity. But the quality is very brilliant. You know that when sometimes the vintage after a very beautiful vintage like 2019, sometimes is always a little bit misunderstood or not really conceived as a very good vintage. 2020 is super good. So we are enjoying after a very beautiful vintage like 2019, also a very good vintage like 2020. And then also 2021 looks very promising. So we are very happy to have the three vintages, which looks pretty amazing. We have to remember that the 2020 vintage was the vintage and the year of COVID. So it was the year of the disruption of the world. But in a way, 2020 is really giving us the perception that Mother Nature is full of resilience. Probably 2020 doesn't have the great traditional character of 2019, in the sense that maybe tannins are not very austere like in 2019. But on the other hand, the 2020 looks very appealing and also very approachable despite the youth. The fruit is very super integrated with the wood, with the flavor. We have a lot of red fruits, for example, a lot of very rich and complex flavors. You know that our wines and our Barolos are mainly coming from Serralunga, so we are very lucky to be able to have a very rich soil and a very complex soil and a very powerful soil. So in a way, we can feel, we can understand, we can taste the structure and the complexity because the wines are coming from a very powerful soil and powerful region. So our wines, in a way, are a little bit more structured than the idea of 2020 vintage in general. And also in terms of the Barbaresco, so the two Barbaresco that we produce, because you well know that our Barbaresco are mainly coming from the village of Treviso, which is a little bit higher in altitude, with fresher climate, so it shows more austerity than the other portion of the Barbaresco area.
One thing that strikes me with the 2020 vintage is that purity of fruit. The fruit is so beautiful in 20, and it has beautiful tannins. It reminds me of like a modern 2000 or even 98 but anyways, the wines have such beauty. And at the same time, they do have structure and they're beautiful to drink on, but they also will live a long time. Do you think that how did it get such good? Was that the diurnal shift day and night? How did it get that? And the fruit's really al dente also. It's just like taking the grape.
Federica is too young for remembering very well the 1998, but I believe and we find a lot of similarity between 2020 and 1998 because of the elegance, but without losing the tannins, the tannic side of the wine. So as you said, is quite a modern vintage for Barolo and Barbaresco. And we are convinced that the 2020 will be a vintage that will get much more friends for Barolo and Barbaresco all around the world because of the immediate approachability of this vintage.
We have also to remember that in 2020 we have a very good availability of water in the soil. As you well know, a very good point to have a great fruity character and great freshness in the wine. Yeah. In 2020 we had almost 550 millimeters of rain during the vegetative cycle. So a very good quantity of rain, a very good quantity of water, which together with not very hot climate is really making the difference in a vintage like 2020.
Well, the other point that you may or may not know is that I think it's much more homogeneous than 2019 19. You have some fantastic wines in 19, but then you have some other ones where they pick too early, and the tannins are very green and austere, or they don't have very good color because they didn't macerate very long because they were afraid of the tannins. That wasn't your problem, because I remember your 19s very well. But when I taste 20s, they're very the wines have all that really same character of elegance and beautiful tannins and bright fruit. So I think, like you said, Cesare, that sort of modern, or let's say contemporary vintage is something that people are going to really be excited about. Anyways, these are just so nicely balanced. Okay, well that's fantastic. I'm really enjoying the vintage, and these are going to be nice wines to buy and drink.